Hello, everyone. Welcome to Property Zone Live again. My name is Sean Lee, and I hope everybody had a great Thursday evening. As you can see on the topic today, is a very interesting. Many of us may not have aware about this news. Just less than 2 months ago, at the end of January, one of the most famous and wealthiest people in the world, okay, Alibaba, the founder, together with the executive vice president Joe Tsai, has actually bought a very expensive condos in New York. Now, of course, rich people buying expensive condo is nothing to brag about, but the title, the contents, in terms of where, why, okay, and who, I think it actually give us it should give us an in-depth understanding to look at this news, look at this article in a different perspective, especially if you are interested in property investment. So without further ado, let me just pull out some of the screen. I have actually some of the slide they've actually put in a summary from for everybody easier digestion. Okay, just give me a second. I'm just gonna pull my slides out very, very quick. Okay. Okay, I hope everybody can see this. Let me just make it to the full screen for everyone's benefit. All right. Okay. This is actually the news I mentioned about. Okay. Joe Tsai, in the Chinese name, if you understand Chinese, it's called Tsai Chongxing. Okay. He's actually the co-founder of Alibaba. And their family office pays 188 millions. I'm talking about USD, of course, because they are buying the New York City penthouse for Central Park in New York. Okay, so one or two things that actually caught the attention, right? Although it's not the biggest headline, but if you look at it, is the previous owner, which is the seller, is Dan. Dan actually bought the property only 2 years ago. Okay, back in 2019, 2 years plus, for 95 million. Okay, now they sold it for 188. Okay, there's one thing we need to take note of. And the second thing, their family office, basically the company who managed the wealth for Jack Ma, for Zoe Tsai, okay, is called Blue Pool. Blue Pool Capital is basically the company who's managing their wealth. I'll actually come to that later. As you know, this company, Blue Pool, is managing the wealth amounted to billions and billions of dollars. Of course, looking at the net worth of the fund, you sure know that the co-founder, the owner in Alibaba definitely can afford to buy this property in cash. Why? They actually got a 71.5 million loan from JP Morgan for this 188 million purchase. So this is the reason why, and you know the place is where, and you know who is buying it. Okay, let's go to the details of this transaction. Okay, just a bit information about Blue Pool Capital. All right, so basically their wealth manager, their fortune manager, Blue Pool Capital, is helping the family of Alibaba founders like Jack Ma and also Joe Tsai to manage their fund. So according to the Ventures Bits report, as you can see in the highlighted area, Blue Pool Capitals manage USD 40 billions, okay, of Jack Ma, and roughly they are managing about 10 billions. So in combination of just this, they are managing at least 50 billion wealth of the founder of Alibaba. Now, so if you guys, I'm sure everybody know how Jack Ma looks like, but not many of us knows how Joey Tsai looks like. This is actually the co-founder and is currently the executive vice chairman. Okay, so this is the one, as you see, this is a repeat of the articles. Okay, management, it pays 188 million US dollar. Okay, and it took a 71.5 million 30 years mortgage from JP Morgan to finance this purchase. Now, some of you may wonder, okay, they buy the expensive, they buy the big penthouse. It's called Central Park in New York. How much is the per square feet? The per square feet price for that particular condo is actually stand at 10,000 plus US dollar. So if you do the easy conversion in ringgit, that is closer to our heart, to our shore, we are talking about a property that is worth 42,000 or maybe to a tune of 43,000 ringgit per square foot. Okay. Now, this is the one, 220 Central Park South. This is actually the property that Jack Ma and their family are buying. And as you can see, a simple condo, there's not even a penthouse that is with the size of 3,002 square feet, is selling, asking for 33 million. So if you do the simple conversion calculation, you use 33 million divided by 3,211 square feet, you will get the rough figures of the price per square foot, almost 43,000 ringgit per square foot. This is a price that is really beyond most of us, our imagination. Okay. Now, the second question is why? Why they bought New York? I think New York Central Park is a famous luxury and superb property located in a superb location. But the question is why is that? Why they want to take a loan? Some say that maybe the US interest rate is very, very low. Okay, although we know that our Fed fund rate in US is what in the lowest time ever. But if you take a closer look, because as you know, the loan they took is a 30 years tenure. So if you do a quick check in US mortgage rate, according to Mr. Google, okay, the longer the tenor, normally the higher the interest rate. So if you look at 30 years fixed rate with the annualization of the interest rate, you are looking at 4.2%. So it means that even they are paying roughly about 4.2%, 4 to 4.2%, they are still opting to purchase this property with a loan facility. Okay, so that's why you say even people who can afford to buy property in cash, most of them they won't. And this is one of the example. Of course, behind it, other than the interest rate, there could be taxation purpose. There could be other better returns of the fund they are keeping to themselves. Okay. The second thing, as I highlighted in the beginning, is that how much this Central Park property has appreciated for the period of 2 years. Now, the seller who sold to Alibaba bought the property at 93 millions. Okay, it's a USD because we're talking about New York. Okay, so in 2021 or beginning of this year, they sold it at 190. So you're talking about the capital's appreciation is a whopping 104% over 2 years. Now, this is not an isolated case in what is going on in US property transaction. But if you look at in general, US property transaction has registered one of the highest appreciation rate in the past few decades. And this example, of course, stand out above them, above the average, okay? 104% over the 2 years. Of course, the people who sold to Alibaba make a fantastic return. But the second question is, if you were standing at the shoes of Blue Capital or Alibaba family who actually make the decision to purchase, would you buy a property from an owner whereby a house has just doubled up in 2 years? A lot of us may not, because a lot of us may be worried about the bubbles. A lot of us actually not willing to park our money to buy a property just appreciated 100% in just short period of 2 years. Correct or not? We feel that we already overpaid, but they didn't think so. They feel that it's still a good buy. So I think this is a very contrast to a lot of property investor mindset. Okay. So this is actually a snapshot. This is a billionaire. Of course, the guy who bought it and sold it later has to be a very rich guy also. He's a billionaire. Okay. sells the 220 Central Park South penthouse for 190 million. So there's just summing up. Basically, it's the same condo that is sold for 188 million. Okay. So here, this is the articles about it. Okay. He sold his penthouse for an astounding 190 million. Okay, nearly double the amount he paid for the home in 2019. Okay, all these facts and figures you can see from here. Or if you want to know more about this transaction, okay, of course you can. It's very easy for us to Google it on the internet. Next. Yeah. So I think this has come to the end of the slide. Okay. Let me just bring this up. So I think in summary, what I want to present to you the articles about these articles, a few things. First, rich people are still buying property. Rich people are still buying property in a superb location. Even the price are sky high to most people expectation. The second thing is they don't even mind paying the current price, which the owner already make more than 100% in the short period of 2 years. Because what they're actually looking at is a future potential. They are not so much bogged down with the history, the past of the property. They are looking at the future. They are looking at the capital appreciation in the future. I think this is something very important. Second thing is, even though they can afford to buy the property in cash, they can even buy 10, 20, even 100 in cash. They still choose to take a loan. Okay? Perhaps there's another perspective you need to look at when you're actually involved in property investment, OPM, other people's money, or in short, getting a loan from the bank, is still a traditional, is still a way accepted by the ultra rich people. Okay? So with this, I'm gonna make this session very short, but I hope these articles can give us some thinking about how ultra rich people buy, where they buy, why they still buy, and the expectation they have in the future capital appreciations. So with this, I'm gonna end the session today, and I hope everyone stays safe and take care of home. All right. Thank you very much for catching us at the Prop Zone. I'm Sean Lee here. See you. Bye-bye.